They have a very small military. They rely on our military. It's all fine, but, they got to pay for that.
Donald Trump ramps up his verbal attacks on Canada. The incoming U.S. president says he plans to use economic force to essentially erase the border between the two countries. Justin Trudeau has responded, saying there isn't a snowball's chance in hell that will happen. Let's talk more about this with the CBC's chief political correspondent, Rosemary Barton. She joins me live in Ottawa. And, just on that last point, Rosie, I think we should just kind of point out, I didn't point it out, Pierre Poilievre pointed it out, saying that for Trump to say that Canada doesn't have a military, Canada does have a military, but it is smaller than the United States.
Correct.
And I'm just going to read a little bit of it because he says, Canada will never be the 51st state, period. We are a great and independent country. We're the best friend to the U.S. We spent billions of dollars and hundreds of lives helping Americans retaliate against Al-Qaeda's 9/11 attacks. And of course, and he goes on to say other things, but I think that point should be, or Pierre Poilievre thinks that point should be underscored, right? In terms of after 9/11, when the U.S., not Iraq, but when the U.S. went into Afghanistan, Canada was stationed in the Kandahar region in one of the most dangerous areas of Afghanistan, and 160 plus Canadians lost their lives there. So there's that.
Thing to do, I think, is a strange thing to threaten our allied countries, and I don't understand what he is doing, quite honestly.
I find it extremely ridiculous. Like, if he wanted something from Greenland, or we have an alliance, we are allies, so this doesn't really respect that.
No, I'm not worried. I mean, apparently he says everything, and you have to stay strong and not to be too much affected by what he's saying. You just try to ignore it. I mean, you can say anything, so yeah, try to ignore the worst part of it.
Obviously, Gulf of Mexico is name recognized by the United Nations. It's an organization of the United Nations, but the next question is, why don't we call it Mexican America? It sounds nice, doesn't it? Right. Since 1607, the Apatzingan Constitution referred to it as Mexican America. So, let's call it Mexican America. It sounds nice, doesn't it? And Gulf of Mexico, well, you see, since 1607, and it's also recognized internationally. Well, historically speaking, because as you might know, I know they're going to ask me. I think that yesterday, President Trump, they misinformed President Trump, with all due respect, because I believe they told him that Felipe Calderón and Garcia Luna were still in power in Mexico.